What's going on, guys? It's Josh, the kicking consultant here, and in this video I'm going to take you through the 5 key phases of the perfect kicking technique, which is the same key phases that I've used to help thousands of people both online and in person. So make sure you hang around to the end of the video so you can see all key phases with tips, drills and insights to cover everything so you have no flaws in your technique. Let's get into it. The first key phase is the grip, right? And the reason why I'm at home is because you can work on your grip wherever. Okay, so ideally you want to have more fingers on the front panels of the ball, and by the front panels I mean these would be the back. Okay, so more fingers on the front with just your ring or pinky finger on the back of the ball. Okay, so a good reference is you can just start with that ring finger down the seam, and then you want to have your thumbs at the top of the laces there. Okay, so this is how the grip should look from the front, from the side. Okay, and you want to be able to have the ability to move it around and feel comfortable with that grip. So we have hand-to-hand drills that you can do to get more comfortable with it, both on your left and right side. Okay, you can throw the ball around in different ways, make it a bit more instinctual to get that ball quickly into the position to kick. Okay, now if you have small hands, and sometimes size 4 or size 5 footies can be quite challenging, come a little higher on the ball where it's skinnier. Okay, so yes, like ideally kind of more in the middle gives you that best control, but okay with coming higher on the ball. Now, so what I see some people do is they might go lower, and it kind of works because it allows you just to cradle the ball there. But what happens is it creates a higher ball drop. If I go higher on the ball is instantly gone lower, and you'll actually find you'll be able to get a bit more control through your wrist. Okay, and that's when we go into the guiding motion. The wrist plays a crucial part. So that's the grip. Next will be the guide and the drop. All right, we're about to go down to the oval to do the balance, contact and follow through, but first I'm going to have some breakfast. Got eggs on toast, and I'm going to make myself a little coffee. Go down to the oval. Very lucky I live just down the end of the street. So all these drills I'm about to show you and go over are things that you can do on your own. Like ideally when you kick a footy, you have a mate, but I grew up on a farm in the country and often had to just kick on my own or come up with ways to improve on my own. So I would like kick the ball up onto the roof of my house. It would like roll down and I'd like catch it. I'd turn the trampoline on its side and kick into that. A lot of these drills are things that, yeah, you can do on your own to improve no matter where you live. With this guiding motion, you want to be able to take the ball out with 2 hands and then track it over your leg, down and into your body, okay? So some drills that you can do is just here, where we're kind of guiding that ball out and bring it over your leg, okay? You'll lose control over it for like a second, but it's just about getting that motion of taking the ball out and then pulling it back into your body, okay? One drill that we used to do a lot as like punters in American football were like ball drop drills. And what you can do is just come down on your knees and then track that ball over your leg. All right, and what we're doing is, again, getting used to that motion of taking the ball out and bringing it back in, okay? Now we want to work that ball into the forward tilt, or at least get the ball up and down, right? So it's bouncing on its point like that. So it's a really good way to work both your preferred and non-preferred side. You just see if you're, quite good with the footy, but you want to get more consistent in your ball drop, this is a really easy drill that you can do. All right, so then the progression from that drill is just to do them standing, so like standing ball drops. And again, this goes back to my time as a punter where you had to get really consistent in your ball drop. So ideally you come on a line and you have your kicking foot on the line and you just track that ball down and it should roll straight down the line. So if I'm to come towards the camera, take the ball out, track it down, you can see you'll get feedback on how you dropped it depending on where the ball ends up. All right, so a bit straighter, that's how we want it. And this is gonna be super important, like I said, when you go on the run, when the ball swings from side to side, you wanna bring it over your leg, and then track it down. All right, so we've covered the grip and the guide in pretty good detail there, because that is the most important part. Like if you don't get that right, nothing else is going to flow very well from that. Having said that, balance and contact are super important, because that's how the ball goes anywhere, right? Coming contact off your foot, okay? So when I talk about balance, at the point of contact, I talk about being strong through your core to make good impact, but also consider like the balance in the approach to the kick, okay? And this will be more prominent in like set shot goal kicking, or kicking on the run or for distance, where we want to keep our alignment relatively straight for the most part, okay? So when I think of balance, it's like getting a nice balanced approach, but also balance at contact, okay? So if we go to balance at contact, one really simple drill you can do is just some leg swings. All right, so standing on one leg, coming down, and I talk about brushing the ground with your foot, okay? A lot of common mistake see people make is they make contact too high, and they often, kick the ball up, where we really want to be making contact low to the ground to punch them in low, right? So just coming here, pointing your toe to the ground, brushing the ground with your toe, it's going to put you in that good position, and while working a bit of your balance. All right, now try that on your like opposite side, okay? Getting that nice control, keeping your toe pointed, yeah? Seems easy for me, but I've seen a lot of people I've worked with struggle with this. They struggle to have their toe pointed. They bring their thigh up really high, and they're making contact up here, okay? You want to be patient, let the ball come low, make contact low to the ground. So the reason why I brought us into the cricket nets here is for the next phase of contact, okay? So when making contact, there's two key things: contact on the ball and the contact on your foot. We want to make contact on the ball right about here. Like I said, for the majority of our kicks where we want to keep the ball low, we want that ball in the forward tilt. So I've talked about working the ball into the forward tilt. That opens up this spot here to make contact on the good part of our foot, which is the bony knuckle, okay? Up here on the shoelaces, there's a bony knuckle there that you'll feel. That's where you're gonna get a lot of pop off the ball. So the contact drill we're gonna do is just the no step kick. So you're gonna bring your leg back, arms out, and then make good solid contact. You see how I'm balanced through the core when I make impact on the ball. All right, so coming into the cricket nets or the nets behind the goals is a great way for you to get lots of reps in if you don't have that partner, all right? Now let's go out onto the oval and have a few kicks, and we'll work on the follow through. If you would like to fast track your kicking, make sure you check out the link in the description and grab my AFL kicking guide. We're going to tie it all together. We've gone over the grip, the guide, worked a bit of balance and contact in the nets. Now the follow through, okay? So it's an interesting one, because really the ball's already left your foot. There's really not much you can do with the follow through, but it just ensures that you're getting all the way through the ball, and it adds a bit of fluency into your kick. I'm gonna break it down into two phases. You've essentially got your like longer range kicks where your follow through comes up a bit higher, or you've got your low on the run kicks where you punch through and you should roll onto your kicking foot. I always have a shot at goal. Got the grip and a guide over my leg. Okay, that was beautiful. Now on the run, you see I'll make contact and flow through. So I'll get a bit of pace behind myself here. Oh, bad. Hit the post. Do that again. I need to work the ball a bit more into the forward tilt. Kicking on the run can be hard. Obviously, it's one of the hardest things to do because the ball swings around so much. The big thing is about tracking the ball down over your leg and working into the forward tilt. And one thing I get people to do is just a sprint, steady sprint drill. So you're going to sprint, steady for a bit, take your kick, and then sprint again. And the goal is to minimize the time it takes you to steady and to maximize your pace, so increase your pace. So you might start at say 50% and then build up 75, and then eventually 100%. The best kicks in the game are able to kick well at top speed. Sprint, steady, and sprint. If you have any questions with any of that, make sure you comment them below, and then make sure you check out this video right here.